Hey guys, in this lesson I'm going to show you 5 different ways that you can change between your open chords, which ones you should use and which ones you probably shouldn't use. So what we do is get this down into a position so that you get close up. So I'll just speed start on the video, I reckon. Okay, right? Just there, alright, okay, so let's just get this guy in focus. Alright, so the first way that you can change between open chords, and it's the way that most beginners kind of do it to start with, is by building the chord one finger at a time. So for example, if you were to play a D chord, you can build it by placing finger 1 down, finger 2 down, and finger 3. You have a D chord. You can then change to a G by going finger 1, finger 2, and finger 3. You can then change to a C by going finger 1, finger 2, finger 3. So that's what we call chord building. A chord, finger 1, 2, 3. E chord 1, 2, 3. D chord 1, 2, 3. Okay, so when you're learning a brand new chord, this method is okay just until you've got the chord, the shape of the chord, where the fingers need to go in your head. Once you've got that, you don't really want to be doing this for too long because you don't want to build this building method into your muscle memories. It's not good long term. What you want to be aiming for long term is a changes that allow you to change with all the fingers going down at the same time, like this, not kind of bum, bum, bum. Okay, so that's chord building, and it's okay to do when you're first learning a chord, but as soon as you've got the chord in your head, when you know how to play the chord, don't do it anymore. All right, so the second type of change is what I call an anchor finger change. So that is when, if we say play a G chord here, that's when we've got at least one finger, say this third finger here. If I change to the D chord, that stays in the exact same place between two chords. So you'll notice this third finger here, when I change between the G and the D, just stays there. Now this makes the chord change slightly easier for a couple of reasons. One, you have one less finger to think about. It just stays there, continues pressing down between chords. Two, it kind of stabilizes your hand. You know, your hand can't really wander too much. Like if I'm playing it more like this, the hand might wander a little bit. This is a jump change which we'll talk about in a second. But so it just stabilizes the hand a bit. Also, when this finger is down on this string here, it gives the other fingers a good reference point as to where the other notes lie within the chord. Just having this here gives me a good idea where this little finger is going to be, right? Because it's just going to be dead under it. And the same thing for these two fingers up here. So another really common anchor finger change would be a G to a C add 9 chord. All right? Now we've got two anchor fingers here, the third finger and the fourth finger. This makes the change pretty straightforward. So that's an anchor finger change there. Really cool way of changing chords when you've got at least one finger to help you out. So the next type of change is a light anchor finger change. So a light anchor finger change is the same as an anchor finger change, only now if I play, say, an A minor chord, and then I change to a C chord, right, which is this here, you'll notice that the second finger and the first finger, they're both in the same frets. But unlike the anchor finger change, where we just hold the fingers in place, we need to lighten these up now because we need to adjust them slightly to move into the right position for the chord. So a light anchor finger change is when the fingers basically stay in the same fret, but you need to lighten them so they touch the strings really gently so that you can slide them up or down into the necessary position. Okay, so that's a light anchor finger change there. The third, or the fourth type of change actually, is going to be a glide finger change. So that is pretty much, same playing the A chord here. A glide finger change is the same as a light anchor finger change. So, except that the finger has to, rather than adjust itself in the fret, it glides up to a new fret. So if I'm playing the A chord here, and I change to a D, Right, I'll just take these two fingers off first. I'm going to lighten the third finger, and I'm just going to glide it up to the next fret, and then come down to this D here. So it's the same idea as a light finger change, where the finger needs to adjust itself on a specific string, but it doesn't adjust itself in the fret, it moves to the next fret. All right? So this type of change is normally a bit trickier than a light anchor change because the finger has to do a little bit more work. Okay, so the fifth and final type of chord change is what I call a jump change. So that's when all the fingers need to jump, leave the strings, and come down together. That's a G. I'm going to jump to a C chord because all the fingers are on completely different strings. So I have to jump all the fingers. Now, this is the trickiest type of chord change because all of the benefits you get from anchor changes, where you get at least one finger on a string, whether you're gliding it, whether you're adjusting it, or whether you're just holding it down, all those benefits are kind of gone. So it makes this type of change the trickiest type of chord change. So that there are the 5 different ways that you can learn to change between your open chords. So have fun, take care, and see you all again soon. Bye. Cheers.